Who is your counsel, please?
Please, my counsel is Dr. Dominic Ayine.
The name sounds familiar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appear before the committee on behalf of Honorable Ablakwa, and with me is Theodore Adimazoya, a senior lawyer in my chambers.
How many years is he at the bar?
7 years at the bar.
Then he's not a senior.
Well, in terms of Act 32, he can set up a chambers and supervise juniors. So technically, he's a senior.
I thought the Ghana Bar Association, the thing had come up to 10 years. I thought it was not 10 years.
Well,
I support the 7 years.
Yes, that's what the Act says, unless the bar intends to amend the Act.
I think the Act enables you to set up a chamber, but not necessarily describing you as a senior.
In any situation where we think that there are legal implications of his answers or any question posed by the committee, we shall intervene to assist him in that respect.
Honorable Ablakwa, the floor is yours.
I'm most grateful, Mr. Chairman, and I want to express my gratitude to your committee for giving me the opportunity to appear before you today. I take note that at your first meeting, when you put out the list of witnesses you will call, you restricted the number to 4, which at the time did not have my name, though you indicated that we could submit memos. I had to, later on, after that day's sitting, cause my lawyers to write to this august committee because my name had come up on several instances, and I since have confirmation of that from the verbatim report that we have been given. And so I seek to respond to some of the issues that came up as regards to my involvement in this whole matter. And I subject myself to further questions as well as the committee would deem fit.
So you may respond to the issues. You may refer to, you assist us if you refer to the matter that came up and how you then respond to it. And when you are referring to the matter, if you can, since you have the report, you can say that, for example, on page 2 of the report, it was said so it is true or it is not true, and then that will assist us.
I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman. On page 22 of the verbatim report.
If you give us time also to get it.
Page 22.
Is it 22 of 65?
I have 22 of 59.
Which one is it?
The verbatim report. Quoting from the second paragraph on page 22, which reads, all the minority members said, oh, Mr. Speaker, take your time, cool down, cool down. And I said, how could I cool down? This allegation is made. It is already in the public domain. Here we are. The person who made the allegation is here. It was at that point that Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa said, oh, because Ejako said our president was corrupt, referring to President John Mahama, we are spreading the corruption allegation. So then the mood in the room changed. We all laughed to it. So this was all that was to it. Mr. Chairman, I intend also to read from page 30 of 59, where the Honorable Joe Osewusu in his testimony mentioned my name again. And here, from the second paragraph, Mr. Chairman intervened. He said, President John Mahama. Then Mr. Osewusu is quoted as saying, sorry, President John Mahama. Fortunately, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa walked to us. And I'm saying here, he is the one who said it. Then Honorable Katie Amon asked him, did you say that? And he said, yes. We wanted to feel the same heat as John Mahama is feeling, unquote. So, Mr. Chairman, these are the relevant portions that I refer to, and these are very, very serious and grave allegations that have been made against my person.
The seriousness of the allegation and the gravity, let us decide it. So you just respond to it.
Mr. Chairman, I wish to state that I have served on the Appointments Committee 5 years running. I'm a second-term member of Parliament. This is my 5th year on the committee. We have, as a committee, vetted more than 100 ministers of state, about 77 in the previous administration of President John Dramani Mahama. We have just concluded vetting 46 ministerial nominees in the first batch of ministerial appointments that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has made. This is the first time that such an allegation has been raised. And I think that this whole episode really is unfortunate because we have been doing our work very well, very professionally, and gauging from what the public assessment has been. The assessment has been that we have carried out our duties at the Appointments Committee judiciously. In the course of our duties, sometimes when we question nominees, some nominees can be hostile, some of them can even be sometimes quite, the way they retort. There have been instances where chairman of the committee has even asked nominees to withdraw statements they have made against some of us. But we have not taken these matters to heart because it's not personal. We have no issues to do with any nominee in terms of not having any personal, issues with any nominee. I have set this background to state that I, at no time, and I will never go into a conspiracy to, as it were, bear false witness against a nominee, a ministerial nominee, just because we want to spread corruption around or because that nominee has alleged that our president or somebody is corrupt. I would not be part of any such conspiracy. And so when the Honorable Joe Osei-Wusu, the chairman of our committee, made these statements before you, I thought that I should seek the opportunity to come before you to also be heard and to state unequivocally that that cannot be true. At that conclave meeting, and I'm sure that you have heard other witnesses, you will have heard from all the others that I never spoke at that conclave meeting, and I never made these statements. Indeed, the Honorable Joe Osei-Wusu himself had granted an interview to Joy FM on the night of Friday, 27th January, which was posted on their news portal, their website, myjoyonline.com. It was posted at 7:01, 22 seconds thereafter, under the headline, Ayariga made bribery allegation up, Joseph Osei-Wusu. And if I'm permitted to quote from the report, the first paragraph.
What we've done so far is that with regards to this report, we have asked questions about it, and so we want to tender it through you. Do you have any objection to that?
Mr. Chairman, there's no objection.
Okay.
In other words, the witness would want to tender the report that he referred to in his evidence.
So it's tendered to be marked as W51.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, is it possible for us to see what you have as your copy?
When you tender it, we will rely on your copy.
Very well, Mr.
What we have is a transcript of the proceedings of Saturday, Joy News File. And in fact, what he's talking about, I've already noticed it. It's a newsroom. That was what was posted on my journal, but you can refer, you read it out for the record, yes.
I'm grateful, Chairman.
So you wish to tender, for the record, you've tendered it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Central MP of Parliament, Mahama Ayariga, has withdrawn bribery allegation he made against the Energy Minister designate. He disclosed this to Joy News parliamentary correspondent Joseph Gakpo Friday, minutes after the allegation made the headline. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament said the former Science and Technology Minister said he made a claim up to level the playing field because the nominee has impugned the reputation of former President John Mahama, unquote. So, Mr. Chairman, what I seek to suggest is that this same allegation had been made earlier by the Honorable Joseph Osoi-Wusu, except that at that time, on the 27th of January 2017, he accused Honorable Mahama Ayariga for being the one who made these statements. Surprisingly, when he appeared before your committee on February 15, 2017, he makes the same accusations, but this time levels the accusation or directs the accusation at me. And so there is clearly some inconsistency, with all due respect. And I am submitting, Mr. Chairman, that I am not the author of those words. I have not made those statements. And I also believe, Mr. Chairman, that even logically, what he is saying, what has been transpiring so far, he is saying that the minority decided to go into conspiracy to share corruption around. We ought not to forget that Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, who is denying this whole episode, is a member of the minority. So even in terms of the logic of those submissions, I really fail to see it. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm here today to submit to you that I, at no time, made statements to the effect that we went into a conspiracy to just share corruption around, to smear the Honorable Boachie Ejako, or to smear the Honorable Joseph Osei-Wusu. We do know the consequences, or I know the consequences of such a conduct, if ever I was even invited to engage in such a thing, and I would never lend myself to any such conspiracy.
You agree with me that you could have approached the committee, that you wanted to give evidence before the committee?
Well, Mr. Chairman, you were very clear at your first meeting, and I know you to be, former second deputy speaker. You are a man of your word, and you are very strict. Anytime you took the chair, you were able to really maintain order in the House. And knowing you and having listened to you that day, saying that you were going to call only 4 witnesses, and anybody who had any concerns can send a memo. My view, and when I discuss with my lawyers,
who also happens to be a member of Parliament.
Yes. We were of the view that since...
A very good friend of mine, former Deputy Attorney General.
I'm happy to know that, Mr. Chairman. So we were of the view that since you have established the ground rules very clearly, and knowing that these allegations had been made in the open live television, and it had gone very far, and I was receiving calls, everybody was finding out, why will I be up to such a thing, even my pastor called me, very worried that that's certainly not how he had brought us up in the church and all of that. People were quite disappointed that if this is true, certainly it will lower my reputation in the eye of right-thinking Ghanaians. And so we felt strongly that we needed to write to the committee and seek the same opportunity to clear our name so that it is not as though we approach you with a memo and you may effect the corrections in your records, but so far as the public perception is concerned, that will not have been addressed. And considering that Mr. Speaker had also asked that we should channel all commentary on this matter to the committee, I was really constrained. Because I couldn't call a press conference to also get live coverage and media coverage to respond to the matters that Honorable Joe Osei-Owusu had raised as regards my person.
Thank you. Okay. Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for Southern, Northern. Thank you for attending onto this committee. We have no further questions to ask you. Your evidence is as clear as sunlight. I have not given an opinion on your evidence. I just stated that I have heard what you said and understand it. You will be given a copy of the proceedings. We are acting in accordance, relating to your evidence, we are acting in accordance to Order 2021 of the standing orders. You have a copy, you have the opportunity to correct it, check any inaccuracies, and bring it back to our attention. If we find any further need to call you to clarify something, we will not hesitate to do that. But in the meantime, you are discharged. And also, I'll be reminded to tell you that please don't comment on your evidence on social media. You just hold your peace. The committee will bring out its report. You know that the report is given to Parliament. You have the opportunity to comment on it. After it has been adopted by Parliament, you have the opportunity to comment on it. But in this interim, hold your horses.
I'm most grateful, Mr. Chairman, except to say that you will be interested in my version of the matter.
From your counsel, if I may just read. Our clients, I'm reading paragraph 2. Our instructions are that our client was served with a letter dated 4 February 2017 with reference number so and so. Our third paragraph, our client further instructs us that it has come to his attention that your committee has decided to limit the number of witnesses to be called. However, in his testimony, which was beamed live on national television and which has been widely reported in the national print media, the chairman of the Appointments Committee of Parliament and First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Joe Osei-Owusu, mentioned our client as having told him that the bribery allegation was made up. Since our client was not given an opportunity to cross-examine Honorable Joe Osei-Owusu on this unsubstantiated piece of evidence, it will surely be in accord with the rules of natural justice that our client be heard in his own defense before your committee. It is upon this basis that we admitted you to come before this committee to give evidence, to give you the forum to rebut whatever allegations or whatever statements Honorable Joe Osei-Owusu made against you. We agree that we gave you a letter, but we think your evidence before this committee, in as much as it relates to rebuttal of what Honorable Joe Osei-Owusu has said, makes all the difference for us.
That is so, Mr. Chairman. Was written by us on the instructions of our council. However,
But Honorable Member, Council for Honorable Ablakwa, you know the rules of this house. That when you want to speak, I have to recognize you. The fact that you are in front of a mic does not give you unlimited access to speech.
my apologies, my sincere apologies, Mr. Chairman.
So I can decide not to recognize you again.
Well, you'll be truncating my client's right to counsel in that case.
Your client's right is to a counsel. I can say that I won't recognize you. I'll give you the opportunity to take any other counsel. It's not to you. The right to counsel is never a right to one particular lawyer. So if I feel that your conduct is unbecoming of this committee, but I don't believe that your conduct is unbecoming of this committee. I believe you are behaving yourself very well, and I give you the right to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the Constitution says he has a right to a counsel of his own choice. So if he insists, I will have to attend upon the committee as his counsel. Having said that, Mr. Chairman,
but if you are a counsel and you go and misbehave in court, and you are in the court remands you for contempt, then you'll be shouting from the jail that you are representing your client. You know, we can continue this discussion ad infinitum. So if I've recognized you to speak, speak. If you don't speak, go straight to the point. I will remove you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. I refer the committee to the letter written by the clerk to the committee dated the 17th of February 2017. And the penultimate paragraph read, and I quote, "Having regard to your request, the committee hereby invites you under Standing Order 205 to appear before it on as I think there's a mistake, as a witness to assist in the investigation of the matter." So the invitation was not limited to the request contained in our letter, but in terms of the specific standing order, he is a witness of the committee, and if he desires to assist the committee, I think he should be given that opportunity.
You know, tell me, how many members are in the appointments committee? We have 25. To end up calling every member of the appointment committee. That was our worry in the beginning. So that's why we said, that's why we're combining oral evidence as well as memorandum evidence. There's nothing untoward about submitting a memorandum to a committee. There's nothing untoward about that. You submit your, because really, as you said, these things are not personal. They are not personal to you. They are not personal to me. They are not personal. But we are seeking to unravel the truth or otherwise of a very serious matter. And we were of the view that the terms of reference given to us mention certain names. Apart from those names, if anybody else wanted to give evidence, it should come by way of memorandum to us. And I think that we are aware that committees of parliament admit evidence by memorandum, because we open the door for you. I hear you described in your Facebook that there was a window, but you wanted to come to the door. So you passed through the window, through the door, because of that specific reference to you. And I thought it was also important that you be given the opportunity to clear your name or to say your side of the story. Otherwise, if we continue along this path, then we may not even finish our evidence within the time frame. And if your desire is to assist this committee, is there anything wrong with you assisting by way of memorandum and by all the members of the committee writing their memorandum of what they know? Because in any event, the report that we do will come back to the House, and everything you write, you know the rules. Everything we've done here will be laid on the table. Everything you write will become is public. It's public. That's why, for me, even the question of whether to hold it in public or in camera, it's not even of consequence, because everything you do becomes public when you finally lay the report in the House. I don't know, Honorable. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I take a cue from the bench, as we say. But at a minimum, I think my client should be given the opportunity to make a closing statement.
Yourself, you have no personal. I have no personal interest as well. I'm very interested in getting the bottom of this matter. But when we met as a committee and we did some work before, the view was that we can't call all the is it 30? How many members? 25.
We are 25.
And so that's why we went along that path. Because if we don't go along that path, if we open the floodgate, so we try to restrict ourselves to those who have been mentioned in passing, so to speak. But even the four names that we mentioned in the beginning, it wasn't going to be cast in stone. I mean, if the need arose for us to And if somebody gives us so interesting a memo, interesting in terms of different from what other people have said, we reserve the right to come back into the public domain. Otherwise, all these documents, everything is public. But we are in the third week. They gave us 30 days. We are now in the 30 days. We are now in the third week. We are doing other investigations. Some people are giving us some information. And so our timetable is that we complete this part of our public hearing. Then we look at the evidence we have. If we need to call some more people, then we call the more people. Then we can do a report. And that is why we're asking for memorandum, if you don't mind, because that is also evidence.
More than a material witness. He is not just an ordinary member of the Appointments Committee, but a person who was, if I should put it so, intimately involved in this entire bribery saga. So, Mr. Chairman, it's important that you've given him the opportunity to appear before the committee. It's important that, he should at least be allowed to say something regarding what he knows about what transpired.
Honorable Member, Counsel for Honorable Member, I want to refer you respectfully to Order 197 of our rules. The deliberations of a committee shall be confined to the matter referred to it by the House, and any extension or limitations to it made by the House. As far as this committee is concerned, we do not recognize the petition. It's unfortunate. As far as this committee is concerned, that petition is not before us. And so we cannot recognize it. So the Honorable Member stands in no position different from any other member of the Appointments Committee or indeed any other member of Parliament. And you know that when I rule, Honorable Deputy Attorney General, you were not, Honorable former Deputy Attorney General, Counsel for, please listen to me. You know that when I rule, the only way you can overturn it is by motion. So I've made my ruling that I'm sorry, but I'm not in charge of deciding what is done. But was there a petition that you sent? It was a petition. Your petition is not before us.
Mr. Chairman, the petition is not before you in form, but it is before you in substance.
I have ruled.
Very well, and I respect the ruling, Mr. Chairman.
But I give you the opportunity to...
I can come by motion subject to the advice of my client.
I can give you the opportunity to okay. Yes, I've ruled. I don't have any problem with hearing your client. I have a problem with the effect it will create to open the floodgates. I mean, I thought when Honorable Okudzeto sat in his chair, I thought he was going to start from a certain angle, but it's not in my power to tell him where to start from. And he gave me the impression that he had come in response to this. There are 3 or 4 members of the Appointments Committee have given evidence. There are at least 21 more members of the Appointments. I think Honorable Jose Usu, yourself, Honorable Mutaka, Honorable Ayaga. Where will it end? Where will I end where will I draw the line? Because everybody, like the 7 blind men of Edison who went to see the elephant, everybody will have his story. That's why I said that assistance to assist you. Your case is a special case. You were mentioned in a matter which we thought, but just submit your memorandum. And I assure you that if your memorandum, we will refer to it. We won't ignore, you will see it in the report. And if you think that the memorandum, if we think that it's such that we need to call you, we'll call you. We don't have any objection to calling you as a person. But we have organized our work and think that it will disturb us. Put it to vote, and I agree with you. I'll be voted 4-1. On that note, I discharge you. And thank you for attending onto this committee.
We, at all times, acted truthfully and in good faith.
Before you go also, I just want to remind you that I'll be grateful if you don't pass commentary on your comments.